Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from New York City. You're watching WCS America. We're about to get into the semifinal, the first one between Hero and Ryung. Of course, giving Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam a little bit of a breather after that amazing best-of-5 we saw between Snoot and Alicia. Did you enjoy that, Mr. Axel?
I greatly enjoyed it. I can tell you that those players must have been sweating bullets.
Yeah.
That looked like one of the most intense matches I've seen in quite a long time.
It was so stressful to watch. I couldn't imagine being, actually a player, playing in that situation. Crazy match, awesome result there for Alicia. But before we head into the semifinal, we got a special guest. Of course, STARCRAFT are happening all across the United States, all across the world right now. And we got Puckett at Legends here in New York City. Puckett, how's it going, man?
How's it going, guys? I'm here with the man, Sham2. I found him hanging out at the Legends bar. We are having a great time. This is a great turnout, man. Legends is fully packed with STARCRAFT fans.
It's absolutely packed. I mean, we saw some amazing games, a lot of cheering going on between all the crowds, and we're getting ready for the next match. I mean, Ryung versus Hero, tensions are high. Everybody's, getting a couple drinks in. You can already hear all the cheering going on right now, Puckett.
It's pretty darn awesome, man. So many Alicia fans in that last match, and then now I have a feeling we're going to hear a lot more cheers for the Protoss Hero coming up next.
Oh, definitely. A lot of Liquid fans are coming out here today. I mean, this is, we're right behind the Empire State Building, Legends, so if you're in New York City, come on out, have a drink. Myself, Puckett, we're going to have more people coming over here at Legends Bar and come join a whole bunch of esports nerds watching some STARCRAFT.
It's pretty awesome, guys, and we highly suggest you try the Terran shot. Come meet us at Legends Champion, and I will be hanging out. Back to you guys in the studio.
Dude, thanks a lot, Puckett. I'm a little bit jealous, man. That seems so completely awesome. Guys, definitely do your research. Find a BarCraft near you. If you're in New York City and you want to go meet Puckett right now, you could do it. Legends Bar, I think it's on like 33rd and 5th, close to that area, right next to the Empire State Building. I don't care if you're in Pennsylvania. As far as the game pacing has been going, you'll be here in time for the finals because these matches have been fantastic.
That's right. A lot of awesome action coming up. Another awesome match. The guys at Legends are all ready to watch it out. I think we should be coming up to it very soon. It's going to be Hero versus Ryung.
Of course, before we jump into this match, we had a chance to talk with Ryung about his progress in WCS America and his thoughts on the tournament. So let's go ahead and get into that interview with Ryung. This is picture perfect STARCRAFT. Ryung here.
This is just brutal. Like, every time Alive defends one location, there's another one dying. The fourth is dying. The Banshee's killed like 2 or 3 tanks here at the front of Alive's base. Alive has nothing to stop this Banshee. It's actually just killing everything.
There's the GG from Alive. Ryung taking the 2-1, and he's going to join his teammates, Alicia and Crank, in the round of 8 of WCS America. Commanding play there from Ryung.
처음에는 뭐 테트리스 같은 거 했었고요. 처음으로 해본 대전 게임은 워크래프트 초등학교 3학년 때인가 이제 한국에서 PC방 다니면서 그때부터 시작했었어요. 저는 좀 한국에서처럼 미리 말해주는 게 훨씬 편한 것 같고요. 이렇게 바로바로 나오면은 저는 좀 센스가 없는 거라서 이렇게 바로바로 전략을 짜기도 힘들고 이러니까 좀 즉흥적인 게 많은데 한국에서 일주일 전에 나오면 준비할 시간도 길고 하니까 그게 훨씬 편한 것 같아요, 저한테.
And he brings in one Banshee, then Raven heads that direction. It pulls it back before it dies. The other Banshee comes from another direction and gets more damage done. Ryung is just so good at this Banshee harass.
처음에는 되게 신기했었는데 이제는 다들 그냥 관심이 별로 없더라고요. 처음에만 신기해하고 이제는 별 그런 건 없는 것 같아요. 저희 가족들은 형이나 엄마나 아빠나 처음부터 많이 지지를 해줬고요. 그래서 제가 그것 때문에 더 열심히 했던 것 같고 지금도 뭐 한국 시간으로 아침이긴 하지만 제가 경기할 때쯤이 아침이긴 하지만 다들 보고 있을 것 같아요. 일단 저도 브루더를 했었는데 그 시대 때는 한국에서만 많이 그래가지고 이렇게 시장이 큰 줄 몰랐어요. 근데 스타트로 넘어오고 나서 더 커진 거를 보고 다음 시리즈가 또 나오고 계속 나올수록 훨씬 더 커져서 지금보다 더 커져서 뭐 대회도 많아지고 저희가 이렇게 세계적으로 활동할 수 있는 영역이 많아지지 않을까 생각합니다. 좋은 점이? 딱히 뭐 재원이 형이랑 같이 있다고 해서 좋은 점은 없는 것 같고 그냥 오랫동안 같이 아는 사람이랑 하니까 다른 데보다 편한 게 있는 것 같아요. 저희 팀이 좀 그리고 저그가 없었는데 저그가 들어와서 더 좋아진 것 같고 또 외국 선수들이 들어오다 보니까 좀 한국 선수들보다 좀 신기한 점도 많고 해서 배울 점도 있는 것 같고 해서 좀 좋은 것 같아요. 저는 같은 팀이 좀 껄끄러웠고 그리고 스칼렛 선수를 개인적으로 좀 잘한다고 생각해서 껄끄러워했었는데 같은 조도 안 됐고 또 어제 떨어져가지고 별로 그렇게 그런 상대는 지금 없는 것 같아요.
There is Ryung, and these players are getting ready to go. Of course, a very important best of 5 for both of these guys. A PVT on our hands between two of the premier players in the world, I believe.
That's right. Of course, both these players look so convincing in the first round. Remember, Hero so far only dropped a single map in WCS America Premier League. 4-0 in round 32, 4-0 in round of 16, and of course 3-1 versus Alicia in the round of 8 playoff match. Now up against Ryung. A lot of people are cheering Hero on, but you know what? Ryung has looked sickly good as well, man.
Yeah, 3-0, again, as you said, over Moonglade. Definitely a result that cannot be ignored. That match was fantastic. Of course, again, a lot of people seeing the 3-0 there might not necessarily realize how amazing and how close that match actually was. So really set up for an awesome match here in this game number 1 of the first semifinal of WCS America. Again, getting top 2 in this tournament guarantees you $12,000 and at least 1,000 WCS points. This match is very important for both of these two individuals, spawning in the top right-hand location of Whirlwind. I present your red Protoss player representing Team Liquid, and hailing from Korea. He's only dropped 1 map in this tournament so far. He is Hero. There he is.
Multiple first-place championship titles under his belt.
Plenty of experience in the worldwide scene, has been to every tournament, and he's won a lot of them as well. Trying to add another one to his scrapbook. But his opponent in the top left-hand location is going to have something to say about that. Your blue Terran player who took out Moonglade 3-0 in the last round. Representing Team Axiom and hailing from Korea, he is Ryung. Of course, there he is. These guys had a night to potentially prepare for these matches, of course, playing their round of 8 games yesterday, knowing exactly who their opponents would be today.
That's a very good point. And one thing I'm really interested in, I'm a big fan of Ryung. And if you look at how he's gotten here so far, we can notice that he hasn't played a Protoss at the level Hero quite yet. His Protoss games in the round of 32 were against Hello Kitty. And so on one end you can say, okay, he's 4-0 against Protoss in WCS America Premier League, of course, 2-2-0s over Hello Kitty. But on the other hand, those games are against a Protoss with a very different style than Hero. It was a lot of one-base aggressive play, a lot of early rushes, and Ryung showed he's basically impenetrable to early rushes. But Hero is a player who very rarely does those early one-base blink soccer builds. He loves to do, mid-game harassment tactics to really take it to the late game.
Of course, Hero, as we saw there, Ryung 4-0 against Protoss players. Of course, Hero, again, has only lost 1 game. We've said it, and we'll keep saying, because that is very impressive indeed. Look at all those 2-0s over Major, Killer, Scarlet, and Suppy. And honestly, among all of our players, I think he has the least amount of games played in WCS America because he just wins all of them.
That's the fastest way to get through the game, is to just win it 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. It's interesting, there's only 2 players who haven't dropped series yet, and that's Hero and Crank. And Crank, unfortunately, had a short exit from this tournament, not doing so well in the playoffs, getting taken out 3-0 by Live, who we're going to see coming up next against Revival. But Hero has shown no lack of just continuing this feat of just not losing any games.
Yeah, definitely set up for an awesome match here. PVT Hero versus Ryung. Guys, get on Twitter, get on Reddit, get on Team Liquid, join the Twitch chat, hashtag WCS. If you're watching a Barcraft or at a Barcraft, get out your phone, get a Twitter app or something, and continue to tweet. Tell us who you think is going to win, and send us your pictures of your Barcrafts. Let us know how it's going, because this is definitely an awesome day for StarCraft 2. But, starting off, both these players playing as we probably would have expected, very economic builds here on Whirlwind, and both these guys kind of identifying that fact too. So, these guys playing slow, just kind of feeling each other out at this point.
It's interesting that Ryung is kind of playing extra safe, getting to 3 barracks before he started any of his gases. So really wants to get a very high Marine count out early, saying, you know what, I don't need to get a super fast tech. I'm not looking to do any, Widow Mine drops or anything fancy early on. I just want to get a bunch of Marines out in the field so I can both defend against any type of threat and also I'm able to put some pressure on my opponent if he tries to tech a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, Mothership Core sneaking over towards his opponent's natural expansion at this point in time. Might try to throw a Time Warp down on the middle line. That could be pretty annoying. Going to try to get an SCV killer too. Ryung pulling that weakened guy away. There's that Time Warp. Just going to be annoying. Nothing too big here. It's one of those why not things. Let's just go ahead and do it. Slow time for those little SCVs.
Exactly. As long as he knows there's no threat at home, Mothership Core doesn't need to be back there to defend. It can go in and be annoying and also give a little bit of scouting information. That's always useful. Ryung going with a relatively fast engineering bay here, so we may see some very fast +1 weapons upgrade coming out of him. There we go. So he's getting stim and +1 weapons before factory. So this is going to mean his starport is going to be significantly delayed. Medevacs aren't going to be out very quickly, but he's going to have a very high Marine count, and they're going to be very effective Marines with having both Stimpack and +1 weapons earlier than most Protoss are used to finding it.
Of course, getting that engineering bay is kind of the safe mood because, we just saw Ryung's vision. He doesn't see much of what exactly Hero is doing right now. So, getting that engineering bay out early, it can serve the purpose of, okay, if an Oracle shows up or if it's Stargate play and you're able to predict that, bam, you can put down missile turrets right away if you want to. Also, there's a safety one at the natural expansion. You can protect against potential DT play. And you can just start the +1 because you already have the engineering base. So really safe play here from him, not really prioritizing, scouting exactly what his opponent is doing, but kind of just having all those plans set in place so that nothing can really take him off guard.
Scouting SCV by Ryung, trying to see if his opponent is taking a fast third base or not. Also, little Marines move out there, get picked at the Stalkers, and the idea of moving the Marines out of Ryung's main base there. Oh, looks like he can come in here to the natural. Doesn't get to see too much.
Nope.
Hero really prioritizing observer production this game. He's already up to 3 observers.
Now, I love that, first of all. The more vision you can see, the better. Of course, it does cost a little bit of gas, but World One's a map where you can kind of afford to do that because it's a pretty long rush distance. So it's not like it's going to come down to like getting an Immortal out or something like that. But, what's interesting about that SCV scout from Ryung, I feel like it's more about what he didn't see. Like he scouted up his opponents into his opponent's natural expansion, only saw like a Sentry, a Zealot, and a Mothership Core. So he can be relatively aware of the fact that his opponent is probably teching up pretty fast, perhaps in a multitude of different directions. And that's exactly what's happening here from Hero. A Colossus is on the way, Robotics Bay is finished, and he has Blink on the way out of the Twilight Council. Now what I'm going to be looking out for here is the Thermal Lance. He is going to put it down because some Protoss players, they'll just skip the Thermal Lance, one Colossus, and then go straight to Templar or something.
We've seen that a lot. Looks like Hero's not going for that choice.
Yep.
One thing Ryung has done that is very rare to see Terran players do this, and I'm actually so amazed that he's doing it, really prepping for the late game by getting 2-1 after the +1 weapons finishes. So many Terran players, when they go early eBay, they get +1 weapons, but then they only stay on 1 eBay, they follow that weapons with +1 armor, and wait till armor's done to start 2-2, and then all of a sudden the Protoss, even with later forges, is able to catch up and get ahead in upgrades. Ryung saying, you know what? I really want to prioritize upgrades this game, getting a very early armory to get +2 weapons very quickly.
Also has a 3rd command center down as well. So again, really prioritizing, the mid to late game type setting as far as investing a lot into stuff that's not necessarily going to help him now. It's more going to kick in later as far as that 3rd over command, the 2 engineering bays, the armory down already, really setting up for the future of this game. Throwing down a scan of his opponent's natural expansion. I think he saw the edge of that robotics band, of course, saw that Colossus. Going to try to apply a little bit of pressure, not looking to kill his opponent here. Just be like, all right, I'm going to do some pressure, maybe force a photon overcharge, maybe take advantage of the fact that, okay, Colossus aren't that vulnerable, maybe try to drop in the main, drop in the natural. We can keep an eye out on what Ryung wants to do here.
One thing he's got to be careful of is Hero went straight for the Blink upgrade for the Stalkers. And normally if the Stalkers don't have Blink, the Medevacs can use that Ignite Afterburn's ability and get out of there before they're taken out. But Blink can really be a great way for Protoss to defend and pick off those Medevacs.
And again, we're about to see Ryung take an upgrade advantage here as his 2-1 is about to finish. The +1 weapons attack is about to finish from here, which means Hero is going to be at 1-1 to Ryung's 2-1. So we'll have to look out for that and see if Ryung can take advantage. Another scan going down here from Ryung, trying to find out, okay, where is my opponent? He has Vikings in that production tab, mixing in some Hellbats too, which is a pretty interesting play that a lot of Terrans are starting to do.
Hero's looking to put on some pressure and delay Ryung's 3rd for as long as possible. Of course, getting to Blink and the Stalkers allows him to be very assertive in the middle of the map. Ryung has to be cautious, but it also means that he can't upgrade quite as much as Ryung is.
Only 1 bunker here from Ryung. Hero coming forward. Remember, he has the ability to recall if he chooses, not placing down any Time Warps. So that might be what he decides to do. The Vikings and Marines coming forward, but Ryung doesn't want to go down that ramp because force fields can go down at any moment. And if your army kind of gets split away, it can be very dangerous. And look at that, an orbital being sent to the bottom left from Ryung, realizing that, okay, he's not going to be able to take his third too fast. Hero has a pylon there, able to identify that. Going to stay camped outside of his opponent's natural expansion, just applying some pressure, warping in a lot of units. He's about 7 gateways behind him, so really going for this contain.
Some great moves by Hero here. Ryung, very heads-up play, denying the third base of Hero.
Oh, a lot of Stalkers coming forward. Colossus trying to get that damage done. Where are the Vikings? Ryung needs them to deal against the Colossi. A lot of sentries here with force fields here as well. Ryung continuing to back up. Hero with so much might at his opponent's natural. Blinking forward with the Stalkers. Ryung might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Oh, this, of course, is the weakness of delaying the starport for so long. It's very hard to get enough medevacs and Vikings out. Time warp going down on the entire Bioforce.
Oh, no, the Stalkers blinking forward again. The medevac so vulnerable. This might be a very quick end to this game number 1. Ryung going in too many places. Hero taking advantage, crushing forward with a huge 2-base push. A lot of Stalkers, Zealot sentries, still so many Colossus alive, and Ryung scrambling to come up with an answer.
And Hero just so on top of this pressure push. You're not losing a single Colossus yet. The Blink Stalker's doing a great job of making sure the Vikings can't touch him. Ryung's base is in shambles. Another stim down the ramp. There's not any force fields left or Zealot, so if Ryung can get enough Marauders on the field.
Oh, there's the Nexus, and Hero isn't trying to take that expansion. He's trying to make a point here. Hero's so confident here, placing down the Nexus, and Ryung, I don't even know what he's feeling right now.
Oh, he's got to be feeling determined to try to find some way to get back in this game. Of course, he does have the 3rd orbital, so if he can somehow take out this army, he can reshoot up back to 3 bases. He also has the upgrade advantage, but how can he deal with this giant army of heroes?
He can't, man. And once that Nexus finishes, Hero can be even fancy and like put down a Photon Overcharge or something. Aggressive Planetary Fortress Nexus. There's the victory screen for Hero. Ryung throws down the GG, and Hero takes a pretty comfortable 1-0 lead there.
You know, he made so many observers so early, he was able to really tell what Ryung was doing. When he identified, okay, his first starport is late, he's never going to make a second starport, just go for this massive Blink Stalker Colossi timing. Yes, I'm foregoing the upgrades a little bit, but it's okay because I'll just kill him right here, right now.
What a great game there from Hero. Definitely a build he's kept in his back pocket, using pretty much exactly when he sees an opponent. Going for those 3 orbitals, 2 engineering base, armory so fast, just like you said. And again, coming forward with that huge 2-base timing push, and then of course the Proxy Nexus. Always fun to see.
Proxy Nexus, a great move there. He was always so quick at picking off those Vikings. I don't think any of his Colossi ever even took more than shield damage in those battles. Very, very great micro by Hero, and that's what he's known for, probably more than anything else, is his micro and his execution of strategies. There goes that Nexus.
All right, guys, Hero taking the 1-0 lead in this best of 5. Stay tuned. You're watching WCS America, the first semifinal. Game 2 coming up.